Summer is fast approaching, and I think it's time we took a little bit of stress out of our lives, isn't it? With HelloFresh UK, you can get all the ingredients and inspiration you need to make your meal times and your cooking experience simpler than ever. HelloFresh provides a number of recipes and meals to make your life as easy as possible and also caters to a wide range of different dietary requirements. Use my special discount to get 50% off your first order plus 35% off the next three and three free gifts as well. What more could you ask for? Check out the discount link or the checkout code down in the description below. Well, on Monday afternoon, we see the culmination of the EFL playoffs at Wembley Stadium. It is the League One playoff final between Sheffield Wednesday and Barnsley. And after two of the most remarkable playoff semi-finals, particularly one of them, we are going to preview the final, get our score predictions in, and talk about all the key stars for each of the sides. I hope you're looking forward to that, as it's our third preview in 3 days, with the other two playoff final previews up in the eye above. But before we go and get into that, as always, we've got to have a quick recap of what we said about the semi-final second legs, and nobody predicted what was going to happen. Or did they? Because last week, before the first legs, we put out a poll saying who's going to win the League One playoffs, and about 50% of you overall said Sheffield Wednesday. We put the same poll out between the first and the second legs, and 20% of you still stuck with Sheffield Wednesday. I'm not counting a few of you that have added your vote on since. And I am going to say a massive well done, because nobody saw that coming. I predicted a 3-1 Sheffield Wednesday win, but a defeat on aggregate. And of course, you all know what happened after that. If you don't know what went on, then where the hell have you been, quite frankly? A 5-1 win after extra time, a 4-0 to 4-4 scoreline, equalising in the 98th minute, and then winning on penalty kicks to send Hillsborough ballistic and Sheffield Wednesday to Wembley. Barnsley did it a much more comfortable way, a 1-0 win against Bolton Wanderers. That sent them through 2-1 on aggregate and without the extra 30 minutes. But can you replace the momentum of what Sheffield Wednesday had last week? I'm not too sure. In terms of the comments, let's have a look at who were the stars of the prediction show. And in terms of those of you that put in score predictions, it's quite simple. Nobody expected Sheffield Wednesday to get through on the night, or nobody predicted a score that would produce it. But all of you predicted a Barnsley win against Bolton, whereas I just drifted the other way and made myself look a little silly. But Barnsley get through to face Sheffield Wednesday at Wembley. You could argue that just like League 2, justice has been delivered, because it is 3rd v 4th. It is the top two teams going head to head, and that is Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday. We're going to start with Barnsley, because I feel that their story has been lost in the madness that happened in the other game this week. So let's talk about them first. A 1-0 win over Bolton at home saw them through in the second leg. In the first leg at Bolton, they dominated without managing to get the result. In this tie, again, they surrendered possession, but they played to their strengths and they produced the result. Michael Duff has done an excellent job in his first season, and after the chaos last year during the relegation, the several managers and the many things going wrong, it is great to see them back on the front foot. Aided by a loan signing from Luton Town in Harry Eisted in goal, who has been an absolute rock for them at the back, they have become a very good side to watch. Maybe the slight issue is that they haven't got the same kind of goal threat that they've had in previous years. My club Luton a little bit guilty for that, stealing the whole strike force last summer. In Devante Cole and in James Norwood, they've got two experienced pros and people who will be able to make an impact and, crucially, will work hard for Michael Duff's team. The rest of the side is full of quality. They've got a good spine. They've got solid players in there. And they showed that against Bolton throughout. They were the better side. They deserved to get through over the two legs. And you have to say a big well done to them. They'll also be buoyed by the fact that they've got a very good head-to-head record against Sheffield Wednesday this season, with the Owls not winning in either game against them. And although they finished 10 points apart in the league in the second half of the year, Barnsley were absolutely flying. And the good thing is, they've both got a big goal threat. Barnsley have scored 80 goals overall. And although they don't have those big individual goal scorers as such, they've got loads of goals throughout their team. They popped up with a set-piece goal defensively against Bolton. They've got goals in their midfield as well. So it really isn't a case of one threat. They've got a team where goals can pop up from anywhere. And that's a great thing going into a Wembley final on a big pitch. You've not just got one player that you've got to rely on to have a good day. For Sheffield Wednesday, though, we've got to talk about that semi-final, haven't we? I don't think many of us thought that was going to happen. I think even some of the 20% of you probably just did it so you could say you look a genius if it happened. How many people actually believed it? Well, I tell you what, after 9 or 10 minutes of that game, I think a lot more people did. The early goal was so crucial in that game. The second first half goal, important. Just as it was starting to have a lull with 20 to go, that third goal went in to send the place into raptures. And in the 98th minute, what a way to do it. No time for Peterborough to bite back. But then, to be fair, the resilience in extra time to let in that goal, the deflected own goal for Lee Gregory, but then still to bounce back with Callum Patterson. Very composed finish on the rebound, by the way. I mean, you've got to give plaudits to Sheffield Wednesday. I know they've talked about the work Darren Moore's done during the week to try and get them up for it. And you did have to feel for them a bit after the first leg. They had one of the meanest defences in the league this season. They only let in 37 goals. And they just had an awful off day against Peterborough. After winning the final 4 games of the season, finding form again and missing out with one of the highest points totals you'll ever see in 96. To then go and lose 4-0 to Peterborough and look like they were going out. It was a little bit of a playoff injustice, wasn't it? A massive bit of credit and shout out to Darren Moore though, because he took some disgusting abuse after the first leg. And it was great to see that some of the perpetrators of that missed out on the greatest ever EFL playoff comeback because they weren't allowed in the stadium. So well done to Sheffield Wednesday for dealing with that. And well done to Darren Moore for getting over the line. An absolutely brilliant man, a great football team to watch. Even his West Brom sides back in the Championship where he was harshly sacked. His teams were enjoyable to watch, and for Sheffield Wednesday, they produce good football all the time. He's certainly a manager I give a lot of credit to, and to show the mental fortitude he did in the last week, he deserves massive, massive credit. So Darren Moore, what a brilliant job he's done. And to be fair, Michael Duff, what a first season he's had. This game is going to be hard to predict. What we're going for here is, will Sheffield Wednesday's defence be solid again? I think it probably will be. There is obviously the risk of that huge exertion to get back into the tie against Peterborough. It was a draining night emotionally for a lot of the players. It was huge scenes afterwards, of course, understandably so. And with that week or so afterwards, have they had time to recover? Well, they've had 10 days, so hopefully a few days off and a full week of normality again. But this is going to be massive, and it's going to go one of two ways. Either Sheffield Wednesday won't be able to recover from that hugely emotional night, or the momentum's just going to carry them through. My opinion probably is of the latter, to be honest. For Barnsley, it has been a brilliant year, and I don't think in their first season back, not many people predicted them to get promoted, purely because of the mess on and off the pitch at times last season. When you look at the way Michael Duff's got them going, I know they didn't finish the season brilliantly, but once they were assured of the playoffs, they rested a few. It's proven to be the right decision because they've looked really good over the 2 legs against Bolton. The one thing I do want to say for this tie, though, is I do feel there's going to be goals. And I know in League 2 and in the Championship, you've got 2 teams where both defences are quite mean and you think it might be quite a cagey game. This one, I do generally think the opposite. Sheffield Wednesday probably need to be expansive. At Wembley, the style of play they've got will suit that style of pitch. They'll have time, they'll probably have possession, and they've got players who can unlock a door. It's whether they've got the runners, because of course traditionally they play with those target men up front, the likes of Michael Smith, Lee Gregory. You've got Josh Windass, who's a clever player, and Johnson as well. And then Barry Bannon's the man. Will he unlock the door? Will he provide that inspiration? And can Sheffield Wednesday return to the second tier? That's going to be the big question. They've got to be better defensively than the first leg against Peterborough, but for the most part this season they have been. Whereas for Barnsley, it's can they be how they were defensively against Bolton? And more importantly, can they take chances? Because Sheffield Wednesday are going to be a much more proficient attacking threat than Bolton were. They scored nearly 20 more goals over the league season. If Barnsley don't take their chances, which they will get a few of against Wednesday, they are going to come to regret it, I think. So this game, again, is going to be tight in my opinion. But I'm going for the momentum of Sheffield Wednesday. I'm going for goals because there are plenty of players on the pitch who can unlock a door. And I'm going to rely on both attacks to take a couple of their chances. I am ultimately going for the Owls to nick it. Again, I don't mind who comes up. Both clubs are great clubs. Oakwell's one of my favourite grounds in the EFL. Sheffield Wednesday are a massive club and should be back in the Championship. I'm a massive fan of Darren Moore too. And obviously Luton Loney, Harry Isted's in the Barnsley goal. So I can't really lose with this one, to be honest, as a neutral. I don't mind who comes up. Of course, by the time the final comes around, I'll know if it's going to be an away day for me next year as a Luton fan or not. Fingers crossed it won't be if our final goes to plan. But I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday to nick this by 3 goals to 2. I just feel the momentum after coming back from what happened in the first leg of the semis. I just feel they won't let this opportunity slip. It will have united the club and the dressing room more than you can imagine. The fans will be louder. They'll believe if they go a goal or two down, which Barnsley haven't suffered in these playoffs yet. And maybe those things will make the difference. On paper, it probably should be Sheffield Wednesday. And after the season of 96 points, the comeback against Peterborough, I'm going for them to edge it by 3-2 in normal time. So it looks like a brilliant and entertaining final in prospect to finish off our weekend of EFL playoff finals. Let's have a quick recap of what I've gone for in this game. And I have gone for Sheffield Wednesday to ride the wave of emotion and follow up their 5-1 comeback win against Peterborough, the greatest ever EFL playoff comeback, with a 3-2 win in a League One final against Barnsley. Both teams have had a brilliant year, and whoever doesn't come up, you'd bank on to be up there next season. It doesn't matter what I think, does it? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Give us your preview and score predictions for the game. Let us know if you go into the game. Hopefully you're looking forward to it, and we'll see how many of you are right come Monday afternoon. We will be back next week with our review of our pre-season predictions for all the EFL leagues, so keep your eyes peeled for me and Craig on them. But thank you very much for watching as always. If you enjoyed it, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for regular content from the podcast. Plenty to come over the summer and another big season just around the corner. But good luck to both teams on Monday. Enjoy the game if you're going. Make a good day of it. Enjoy your bank holiday. And we'll see you back here next time to review our pre-season predictions.